Hi everyone, welcome back to Hunt Hill at Home. I hope you all had an awesome week. Today we are going to be doing all of the peas. We're going to be looking at prairie plants. We're going to be looking at some pollinators, and I'm going to give you a quick tour of our nature playscape. Now, this is going to be a really quick version. Of course, I can't show you all of the plants and all of the things that we've got here because there's a lot. But I'm going to show you some of the ones that I love and I think are really interesting. So since we're talking mostly about plants today, I have another plant joke for our joke of the day. And so here we go. I have a friend who will organize all of her herb garden by alphabetical order. I said, "That's crazy. Where do you find the time?" And she says, "It's right after the sage." All right, let's go and check out some of our plants. Now, you'll start to see plants all over the place. We've got tons of them growing around, and a lot of this got set up by the Master Gardeners program. And the wonderful thing about these plants is that most of them are perennials, or they self-reseed. So we don't have to spend a whole lot of time planting and maintaining the plants. We just weed every once in a while to get rid of the plants we don't want. So we're starting out right at our farmhouse office. So let me just show you something in case you do come to visit. We are open still. We are taking things seriously with COVID, so we are not allowing guests in the office. But if you have questions or you need something or you're wanting to know a little bit more, we are here. So from 9 to 4 on weekdays, just come on up, ring the doorbell, and someone in the office will come and help you. And we'll come outside and we can wear a mask, or we can make sure that we have enough distance that everyone feels safe. Thanks for everyone watching. I see quite a few people watching today. Thank you. So we're passing by our rhubarb plant over here. We're going past, and here we go. We have the first plant I'm going to show you, which is our cup plant. Now the cup plant is really cool, and it is cup like the cup you drink out of, and there's a reason for that. Now, one of the really cool things about the cup plant is it is tall. Take a look at that. It's way above my head. I can even reach up, and I can't even reach the top of these flowers. This one is a very healthy cup plant. We've got some newer ones that I'll show you later too. Those ones are not as big and tall yet because they're still very young. But these ones are very nice and developed. And I actually brought myself a step stool so I can look up and look at the very top of our cup plant. So I'm going to go up on our step stool. So here's the view from the top, and it is so beautiful up here. Just a few seconds ago there were tons of bees and butterflies and things to look at. I don't see any right now. They must have gone scared away. There are a few things that we don't like to see around on it as well. We've got some of these beetles. These beetles are actually invasive beetles from Japan, so we're not big fans of those, but we also have lots of pollinators on here that are native. Now, my favorite thing about the cup plant is where it gets its name. So the cup plant has these little cups down in the base of each leaf, and the cup will hold onto water after the rain. So if you look into these little cups, you're going to find a little bit of water. This one's got a lot of water, and that water will be used by the animals around here to take a drink. So it's just like having a bird bath available for the birds, but it's an all-natural bird bath. The nice thing about this is, unlike bird baths, it's not enough water and it doesn't last long enough for mosquitoes to breed in there. So these are a really good option for if you want to provide water for the animals around. let's go and take a look at some of the other plants we've got here. So, oh, I should have kept it so you could see where we are. We're walking past the porch right now. This is our side porch. And we come, oh, and here we have our little boater totter. It's a teeter-totter that is also a boat. This is really fun for any children you've got that want to come and play. Now here's my next favorite plant. And this one's quite tall too. Let me show you how tall this one is. So this is how tall I am. I'm like 5'9"-ish. This one is a little taller than me. So it's maybe 5'10", 5'11". And this plant, if you look down at the leaves, it looks a little bit like, if any of you are gardeners, it looks a little bit like lamb's ear. They are related, I believe. And this one is called mullein, and it has a nickname, and the nickname is cowboy toilet paper. Now, it has that name for the reason you'd expect. It's very nice and soft. So people, when they are out in the wilderness, will sometimes use this as toilet paper, and it is safe to use on your behind. So if you're ever stuck outside, make sure you find a leaf that you can recognize. Do not use any poison ivy. You would not be a happy camper then. But mullein is fine for that. We also have a lot of wildflowers here. Do you see all of our beautiful wildflowers? Now, some of our wildflowers are part of what we call a rain garden. Now, a rain garden is built by taking one of these right here, and we bury it into the ground right at the base, and then it gets piped all the way over to where we want our rain garden to be. So here's the very end of our pipe. So this is where all of the rainwater that rolls off of our house goes into the ground. So this waters our rain garden, which is here, and it's filled with a lot of different plants. We've got some false sunflower. We have right here, this is our wild bergamot, or it's also called bee balm sometimes, but it's different than the bee balm that is red. These are really great for pollinators. We see one right here. Here's our little bumblebee. I should have done bee for bee balm and bumblebee. So they're going around and getting the nectar, and as they're picking up nectar, they're also unintentionally picking up a lot of pollen that can be transferred to the other plants to pollinate them. Now, we also have a whole bunch of these plants right here. They have the little white flowers on top, and then they've got these leaves that look kind of like pineapple weed leaves, but they're not. These are called yarrow, and they've got a very cool smell if you rub them between your fingers. You can smell them. They smell almost minty. Another flower that I really enjoy is our black-eyed Susan, and we have a lot of these. These are very common around here, and they're really fun to look at. And we've got some more bees demonstrating. Thanks for commenting, Don. We've got one right here doing some pollinating. We've got so many different types of bees. I didn't know this, but there's even many types of bumblebees. I always assumed they were all the same, but there's actually several different types that live around here. And we've got a pretty good variety that we can see on these right now. We have some honeybees, we've got some bumblebees. I think this little guy's a sweat bee, but I don't know for sure. I'm not a bee expert, but I am a bee enthusiast. Now, another plant that is really fun to look at are these teeny tiny flowers. These ones are small enough for a flea, and these are called fleabane. Now only the very tiniest little plants, insects are able to drink nectar and pollinate from these ones. I had one flower I just realized I skipped over, so I'm going to go back to it really quick. So over here, we've got these plants that have the little pink flowers that hang down. This is wild columbine. Some people also call them honeysuckle. They are similar to honeysuckle, but this one is the columbine, I believe. And they've got these little leaves that look like, almost like a paw. They've got 3 distinct lobes that are all at the very end of the leaf. Okay, so I've shown you our plants. I've shown you our pollinators. Now the last thing I have to show you is our Playscape. So the Playscape was developed for kids to play in. So it's all made out of natural things that you could find in nature. So right over here we have our little creek. It's very relaxing just to come by and sit and listen to the creek, even if you're not playing in it. And the creek flows all the way down here to the log, where there's a little pump that will pump it back up to the top so that you can continue playing with things, but it still keeps running. We have over here a little berm. This is great for running up, rolling down, sitting on top of for a little picnic lunch. Over here, we've got some balancing logs. We'll see if I can balance across them. I've got not the best shoes for this. I've got my Crocs on today, but we'll see if I can do some balancing. Woohoo! And then over here, we have our sandbox. Now we do have some toys out here from when Joe was playing out here. We do not wash the toys between each use, so if you come out here with your kids, I would suggest bringing your own toys that you can play with as well. Over here we have our mud pit, and right now it's mostly dirt, but it's really great. You can dig it up. We've got some tools that you can dig with, or you can just use sticks and rocks. You can build things with these little log pieces we have over here. We have a little mud kitchen where if you make mud pies or other sorts of things, you can lay it out on the mud kitchen table. And then, of course, we've got some big rocks that you can climb on and enjoy. And finally, last but not least, we have our fort. So the fort is fun because you can climb in it. You can add more pieces to it if you want it to be even darker. You can add some more sticks to make it into a really nice spot. We've also got a little spot you can crawl through if you're small enough. I'm not quite small enough. So there you have it. We've got some prairie plants, we have some pollinators, and we've got our Playscape. They're all great reasons for you to bring your kids out here and enjoy being out in nature. This is all free and open to the public every single day. And we hope that you get a chance to really enjoy being out here this summer. Thanks for watching and take care.